good. Oh, that's the sound. That's what dreams are made of.
Would
that
you
sound.
like one?
No, I'm good.
Now that we've started recording, I've just asked.
Got my health on.
Me too, mate. It's diet. The old Pepsi Max.
Yum.
Oh, we've got to work out how to do this. We haven't done it for a while.
Yeah.
Season 5?
You're season 5. Yep.
Season 5, episode 1, isn't it? We're
Yep.
just based. We've had 3 months off.
We've got to be in a new season, surely.
Okay.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Well, I guess it's welcome back.
It's like we never left.
It's back 3 months. Almost to the date.
Almost to the date, 3 months, yeah.
15th of November was the last Skip the Beat podcast.
That's quite a significant gap for a weekly podcast that's loosely based on music.
But look, you have every podcast has a season break, I think.
That's right.
We're allowed to have it. There was a lot happening.
It
Had
was.
a busy end of the year. Lots of things happening. Welcome back, everyone. If you're here for the first time, welcome. We are Skip the Beat. My name's Matt. I'm joined every week by the other half of the podcast, Katie. And we're a podcast which is loosely based on music, probably very heavily based on music today because there's been so much happen over the last 3 months. And if you're coming back for the second, third or 20th time, welcome back. Thank you for yet again putting up with the... what would you call it? A mixture of banter and silliness and just outright stupidity. But yeah, we're glad to have you back as well.
It's really good to be back in this little throne. I've missed him. It's nice.
They've been just chilling over there, wondering when am I going to get my next bum? Okay.
Excellent.
Okay, so the big question is how have you been? Because I actually haven't seen you. I think I've seen you maybe twice in the last 3 months.
Yeah, that would be... Has it even been twice? We had a barbecue. That was one time.
Was that it?
That might be the only time I've seen you since we last recorded.
Okay.
Potentially. Well, last we spoke on the pod, I was on a work hiatus for the foreseeable future. So I had just finished up my job and my plan was to take 6 to 12 months off work. And... sometimes we have these plans and sometimes those plans don't end up being what happens. So I finished up at the end of October and sometime in December or early January, I can't even remember when, I think December, I got a call from my old boss and it turns out that the federal government wanted to reinstate our whole program. So after our entire national team going offline, they asked us to come back, which is often the way with government contract work. But I, assuming I was going to have 6 to 12 months off, had made a few travel plans. And so I've only just started back at work last week. So I have had... since the pod finished, the most glorious 3-month holiday, most of it not in my cabin. So I spent a fair bit of time on the Gold Coast. I spent almost a month in Thailand. I cycled mostly from Bangkok to Phuket, so about 600 kilometres on my touring bicycle, carrying all of my stuff, and have, just absolutely lived my best job-free life. And now... things are more back to normal. And so I'm back in the country for starters, which is why we can record the pod. We're back in the city. So that's been my last 3 months. And it feels like it just went like
it's gone quick.
Snap of the fingers. Yeah. I can't believe that I didn't work for 3 months and achieved so little. That's all I've done is basically have holidays, beautiful holidays, and ride my bike, lots of walking, and that's been about it. And now back to work.
It's scary to think that like we're past 10% of the year already when you think about it. Like it's nuts.
Yeah.
Like just gone.
Yeah.
2026. See you later.
What have you been up to for the last 3 months?
There's been lots. I mean, most recently I have been homebound a lot more than usual the last 3 weeks. I did a very silly thing and slipped outside my front door. A little bit of a tip, don't do that, particularly if you go to roll your ankle and then break it. So yeah, I'm sitting here. If you're watching on YouTube, I've got a nice, lovely little compression sock on, but I've taken my moon boot off just to give it a bit of a rest for the next podcast length.
Yep.
But yeah, it's been challenging. The hardest part being my right foot is I can't drive. So yes, it's been a bunch of family members drive me around the place here and there, whether it's just down to the gym.
Ashes stepped up.
Yeah,
Rosie.
just better.
It's time.
Yeah, why not? You're going to learn to drive anyway. Why not now?
Yeah.
Help your dad out.
That's right.
Give something back, mate. So yeah, that's been the downer news. Plenty of interesting, great news. I think not long after our last pod record, almost a month actually, in mid-December, I went down to Melbourne with the family. It was my sister-in-law, Liv. She is a skippy. She listens to the pod. She had her wedding, and it was something I wasn't able to say for a very, very long time because it was all kept sort of as a nice surprise down there. But I, over the last 12 to 18 months, have been studying, and I became a celebrant, and I went down and I married Liv and Nick, and it was just the most amazing day. And
so good. Such
a great surprise for everyone there. We're at the rehearsal, and no one knew except for obviously my wife, Jen. She was a bridesmaid. Obviously, Liv and Nick knew, and I don't think many other key people down there knew at all. So yeah, we're at the rehearsal, and I just stand there, and literally my in-laws, Jill and Dave, thought I was just standing in for the celebrant that wasn't there. They're like, no, this is...
I am it.
This is real. They're like, sure. I'm like, no. It's real.
We haven't talked about this really at all, because I was one of the handful of people that knew that Matt was going through all of that, and that this was going to be... The whole purpose was so he could do it, but so specifically he could marry Nick and Liv.
So yeah, I'm a married celebrant, and it's now that I've been able to get a business set up and registered and things like that, got my ABN and branding and everything done, I've started to make it a little bit more publicly known. So yeah, Married by Matt is available for
any
special
bookings
days.
yet since you've
No, I got one, but they asked if I could marry them on the 29th of October. Oh, no, the 31st of October.
Oh, and you'll be in Australia.
Yeah, I won't be in Australia, so I had to say sorry. It's the 1 week I'm away.
Your first booking. God.
It was a loose connection from Liv and Nick's wedding, actually. So I had to say sorry. But yes, it's I haven't really started pushing it. I'll wait till I get my website done and things like that. But yeah, it's going to be a good little side hustle to have and to do it. I really, really enjoyed it. It was such a fun day. Like, obviously weddings are great anyway. They're extra special, obviously, when they're really close family. And to be able to, I guess, officiate the ceremony and do it, it was really, really good. So yeah, it was bloody lovely wedding.
I was part of Matt's what I was going to say, your subscription, what your application process, but it's not the easiest thing to become in Australia, and so I've seen the other side of that coin and been a part of 79 different weddings that Matt had to film as part of his application to become
all the mock
a
weddings, and that's just to understand the law, and that's what I found the hardest, was just to try and get my head around all the different scenarios that could and what I have to look at. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, we don't need to go into wedding chat. I'm a celebrant. I married my sister-in-law and her brother-in-law. It was amazing, and I've started my own business in it to do. So yeah, that was a really good positive. For Christmas we did the opposite that you did. Instead of leaving, we stayed at home, didn't go anywhere because there was a lot of trips. So yeah, it was really good to chill at home. We had a couple of days with a mutual friend of ours, Joy. You spent a lot more time with her than I did. Yep. But yeah, it was good for Jen and I to catch up with her. I'm just trying to think what else has happened over the course of the last 3 months. A lot of stuff on music chat, a lot of time in the studio, but we'll get to that in the music chat segment. One thing I did forget to do at the start, and this is going to be silly that I'm giving it to you now, not before we started recording, but I bought a little gift for you for
I didn't realise we were meant to bring gifts.
No, it's just some new whiteboard markers.
Oh, there's a pink one. That's what we're using every week from now on.
And I thought it'd be more stupid and more funny to give it to you after we struggled to write the whiteboard.
Well, that's the best gift you've ever given me.
Some little whiteboard markers.
Amazing.
Yeah, anyway. The only other thing I thought was interesting to mention outside of music chat was we're in one of our favourite moments being lovers of sport.
Yes.
It is the Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
2026, Milan. I can't remember what's
Cortina.
Cortina, thank you. Winter Olympics. I'm loving it. I've watched so much of it already. I guess an advantage of being housebound.
Yeah.
A lot of live stuff in the early evening, and then catching up on the replays the next day. It's been great. Watched live the amazing and talented Lindsey Vonn crash. I watched it live in her run, thinking this woman is 41. What an absolute superstar.
Yep.
She starts her run, and if you haven't seen it, just
don't watch it.
it's awful. She had to get
devastating.
airlifted out, but it was just watching it happen lively, thinking, for who you are and what you stand for in sport, and the fact you've been doing this for 21 years, like since you were 19, like hat off to, and then she just crashed out.
Yeah.
ACL absolutely cooked.
Yeah, absolutely devastating. I haven't watched much of the follow-up, whether she's made any statements or anything. I haven't seen anything.
I read something.
Other than they confirmed it was a broken leg.
Yeah, and she said, I think I read something of, there's no question as to whether my ACL is 50% or 80% done. It is done. So, because she was still recovering from her ACL.
Well, she had a rupture of her ACL
Like 2 weeks
a week
prior.
before
Yeah.
the Olympics, and still was competing.
I'm
which
just gonna
was
go for it.
Insanity
Yeah.
in my mind. And you could see when she lined up in her ski pants, the knee was heavily strapped.
Oh, yeah.
It was significantly bigger than the other knee. And yeah, and the fall itself had nothing to do with her knee. It was her arm getting caught on the flag, and it just reamed her. It was terrible.
The other thing I love particularly about the Winter Olympics is I say this every 4 years. Every 4 years this comes around is I love the Summer Olympics and I love the Winter Olympics, and I forget that I can love the Winter Olympics as much as I love the Summer Olympics. Yeah. And I think it's more so because there's almost every single category of sport is a whole next level of terrifying compared to the Summer Olympics.
Yes, agreed.
Like you and I can jump in a pool and swim 50 metres.
Yeah.
We can run 100 metres. Yeah. We can get on a hockey field with a puck and a stick.
Yeah.
But put us on ice skates and get us in an ice rink to try and do that. It's like there's so many summer sports that you and I can just go out and do. The only thing stopping us from getting a gold medal is they're just either quicker or just it's just that level of athleticism is just way better than us. Yeah. We physically cannot do a lot of of
the Winter Olympics.
Just any sport. Like that's what blows me away is the terrifyingness of everything. Like the half pipe, the is it slalom?
Slalom.
Like where they any downhill skiing. Oh,
they're just the straight up downhill skiing. They're doing like 130, 140 kilometers an hour. I'm scared driving that fast, let alone doing it with my little helmet on and my skis.
Even like curling, like just standing on your
Terrifying.
skiing and like scrubbing the ice, and just sliding down. Like I'd fall. I'd have this every day of the week.
I went curling when I lived in Canada, and I just flat on my face because one of the shoes is the slipperiest thing you've ever walked on, and the other one's like a stopper. And you can bet you never know which one's which. It's absolutely terrifying, that sport.
So, I just think there's just so much more risk and so much more, I don't want to say talent because I don't want to take anything away from the summer athletes because what they do is obviously spectacular. Yeah. But there's just that I feel with the Winter Olympics, watching it as someone who is not a sports person, it's really next level.
The extreme nature of it cannot be denied.
I don't sit there going like this watching the Summer Olympics. Yeah. You're
never thinking when you're watching the Summer Olympics someone could die in this. Yeah. But the Winter Olympics, every event
or needed to get airlifted out of the Alps.
It is next level adrenaline. I do love it. I haven't settled into a routine yet I've watched a lot of the recap packages, but I haven't settled into a routine of watching the live coverage.
We've got the Aussie, I think, going for gold, I think tonight or tomorrow. I can't remember her name.
In the moguls?
Yes.
Yeah.
Our
flag bearer.
Yeah. Yes. I saw an interview last night with Jess Fox. Yeah. She joined the nine team, and I was just like, yep, you know how to defend a title.
So that'll be live tonight, late for us?
Yeah, I think we'll be watching it on replay unless I can't sleep.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, Olympic chat, that's on that's basically, I think we've caught up the last 3 months, haven't we?
Yeah, I think so. And I think that by the time we do our next record, we can do a nice Winter Olympics recap.
Yeah,
because it'll
done.
be over by then.
One or two medals that Australia have got.
That's right. We're crossing our fingers. Yeah, that's 3 months. Literally, I have done nothing but be on holiday for 3 months. It's been bliss.
Perfect.
So yeah, now back to the grind. Now you sent me some exciting messages this week, and we haven't really talked about a lot about some Outer Falls stuff. I was after a quick Outer Falls or a long, however you want, whatever you want to do. Tell your fans what's been happening and what's going on.
It's been a big couple of months, actually. There's been a lot of time over that since being home and not going away over Christmas, New Year. Very fortunate that Nathaniel was home himself for a lot of that time as well. So we needed to, after we finished our last tour in September, we didn't have any new music ready. And we're like, look, we've got one kind of close, but we don't want to just get that ready and release it without a proper plan. And also then we're just chasing our tails again. Like, enough is enough. We haven't released back-to-back singles for a while. We need to get that shit sorted, basically. And it was also advised we've been consulting with some people in the industry, and they said, look, the best thing you can do is you put yourself aside for a couple of months and write some music. And so that's what we did.
Yep.
We sat down, we wrote a bunch of songs. We're still writing. I've really enjoyed getting back into the creative side of things. I'm about to burp, sorry. Shouldn't have had Pepsi. But we've got a really good workflow now with the producers that we work with. We've got two. We work with a great local producer here in Brisbane called Levi. He's amazing. We will take our ideas to him and he'll help us shape the initial kind of skeleton and I guess desired kind of, what's the word, feel for the song.
Yep.
We've already got a good idea of what that'll be, but he's able to help bring that in. He's got a really good ear for being able to find the right synth sounds to use and things like that. So yeah, that's been really good. Once we do that, we do a lot of recording ourselves, and then we send it off to the other side of the world, where we've been working with Oscar Dawson, who is an Australian musician himself. One of my favourite bands ever, Holy Holy. He was the guitarist in that. I say he was the guitarist, they're currently on a hiatus, so they're just taking some time away from the game of the band. But yeah, he's still doing a lot of producing work. So he has very graciously and happily decided he wants to work with us, which has been great. So he's been doing some additional production, playing guitar and bass on our tracks and mixing. So that has been amazing. Nathaniel and I have just been so thankful that he's been happy to do that, because what he brings, his creativity.
Some heavy Holy fingerprints in the new tracks. They're very exciting.
We love that. And a lot of people have said, in the past, like, you guys are kind of like, you've got little bits of influence, I guess. We can hear it there of Holy Holy. But we've always been, obviously, as writers, want to create our own sound. And it's like we'd never go and try and purposely put a Holy Holy spin on it. But I guess when you've got the person doing that and happily putting his creative touch on it, he's going to reflect, I guess, what he's
DNA
used to.
That DNA is there.
And so when we got a mix back a couple of weeks ago of one of the first tracks to be completed, I actually said to Nathaniel, I can't actually believe this is Outer Falls. Like, it's just, I can, obviously, it's the song we've written, but the next level he's been able to take it in that mixing stage, which you would expect, because that's when the mix engineer and producing work that he's doing, like, that's when you put all the effects on and have the creative mix process. You know what it's like. I'm just trying to explain it for for those who might not know how it all works, but kind of puts all those flourishing touches on it. Yeah, absolutely stoked. We got a new mix last night of another song that we're now working through. And back in the studio with Levi next week as well, to get at least one, if not two, started as well. So
that'll be 4 in the can?
Hopefully, yeah, be 4 in the can. So by the time we release this first single, which again is hopefully sometime in the next month or two, we've just got to put a little bit of a team together, a whole other part of the update I'll get to soon. But yeah, we'll have, by the time we release the first one comes out, we'll have at least 2, if not 3 others. Amazing. In the plan. Yeah, so the plan for Outer Falls this year is to, release. We want to release over the next 6 to 7 months, 3 singles and finish out the current EP that we started. And then on the back of that, around the August, September, do a headline tour again like last year. So I haven't started to book that yet, but in the next couple of weeks, we're going to have to start looking at what that looks like because venues fill up 4 to 6 months in advance.
And your roadie also
needs to know.
Has a calendar that needs to be considered.
That's all been really exciting to just be in that creative space and writing. The other part, which has been super exciting, is again, we have been meeting and consulting with a few people in the industry, and we're at a point now where hopefully over the next couple of weeks we're going to be able to get some introductions to some potential managers, which is really exciting because that's an area where we have felt we've been lacking. Obviously, it's not ideal when you're self-managed and you yourself as the artist is trying to shop yourself to radio or, DSP, which is kind of like your online Spotify pitching type things to get on playlists, and to have a manager who has, I guess, some credibility and knows industry contacts and a lot. That's their job. That's what we've been meaning to find and wanting to find, but it's just so hard in the industry because it's. Yeah, the music industry, as you know, is extremely, extremely tough.
It's been that aspect of it has been one of the biggest learning pieces for me in seeing these guys is you hear people all the time talk about independent bands, which there are a lot of incredibly successful Australian independent musicians at the moment. But what you don't realise is that while they are independent, they all have, anyone that's of note that you would know of has a very powerful management team behind them that in and of themselves, they're writing all the music. They're doing mostly all their own certainly paying for all their own advertising. But it's that other piece of the puzzle. I just assumed as an independent artist, you could just do all of that yourself. But these guys have hustled and tried that for a long time, and you do need that other piece of the puzzle to take you to that next level.
It's incredibly hard to break a band. So I guess you can see where obviously a lot of bands want managers. So you can't also just go to a management company and say, hey, we're a band, can you manage us? Because I'd get hundreds, I'm assuming.
And you can't also just say, hey, Katie, can you be our manager? Because we
could.
You could, but I would not be able to do anything.
It's like, well, who's your connections in, like, who do you know in the industry? Who have you built relationships with when it comes to radio or, online playlist pitching or other managers that manage other bands and booking agents and things like that? Yeah. So we do a lot of the self-management really well ourselves. Like I think Nathaniel and I have been able to look after the marketing side of things really well. We've been able to put shows on ourselves and do that successfully to the point of where we're at now. But it's what's the next step in terms of some good momentum with another single. We don't want to just release a single and try and market it ourselves. We want to be able to have a team behind us. So it's going to be a really exciting probably next fortnight as we see what comes of the opportunities, hopefully some meetings and just a team that can help us, not just with the management, but then does it lead to some type of booking agent as well? Because that's the other part that helps with getting good support acts or getting on festivals. It's impossible to get on a festival lineup unless you're
connected.
Unless you know someone directly on the inside, unless you've got a booking agent, it's almost, or a manager, it's practically impossible. So as we have found out. It's going to be a really exciting couple of weeks ahead. I'm really nervous and kind of like, this is kind of like what I've been really wanting for the last little while. But, in the meetings, they have said, I've always given advice, and to hear them say, I think you're at a point where you're ready now. Like it's ready to sort of let's get that step happening. So it's going to be good. We'll see what happens.
And I have heard the final mix of the first single, and it is quite the bop.
Yes.
As are most Outer Falls tracks.
So, it's ready to go. We just got to make sure we get the team behind us first.
Yeah.
So that's my impatientness. I was just like, let's get it out. But no.
Well, you've tried that a few times, and so we've got to do things differently.
It's got to be done a little bit differently. Yeah. Yes. So, AF Chat, that is all really exciting and everything happening there. Still trying to be as creative as I can and write new music so I can just stay on top of it.
Continues to be the hardest work you do with the least financial reward.
Yes.
As is the music industry in general.
Just paid some invoices yesterday. That was great.
But we hold out hope. We hold out hope that payday is on its way one of these days. Yeah.
Now, two other things that have sort of been big as well. Let's actually, before we do that, let's jump across to you, because you have done the opposite to me. I've been not going to gigs and writing. You have been going to a lot of gigs, a lot of festivals.
I couldn't possibly run through what I've done in the last 3 months because it has been immense.
I hope in there you've got that jazz bar you went to in Bangkok.
Yes,
it is it?
I did have
Amazing.
it written in my... I wasn't going to talk about it today. I have been keeping track of everything I've been to, and there's far too much. But yeah, a highlight definitely was the most incredible jazz bar. And they have live music at that bar every night of the week. And I've now followed them on Facebook, and it's just... you're just sitting in the middle of nowhere in suburban Bangkok, and just this incredible jazz bar that I went to called Smalls Jazz Bar, which was phenomenal. But the big thing I've done the last few weeks, so aside from all of the things I did at the end of last year, the last 2 weekends I've stayed on the Gold Coast both weekends. First weekend was Red Hot Summer, and just gone 3 days ago was Laneway. At both on the Gold Coast, and I just thought it would be worth giving a little my feedback on both of those festivals.
Katie getting back into her youth.
So Red Hot Summer I'm the clear demographic for that festival. You're allowed to bring a chair in. You sit down. There's one stage, and they just feed you the music of your lifetime.
There's a tea and coffee station.
That's right. That's right. There's signs warning of trip hazards. And the lineup this year, sometimes Red Hot Summer can get quite bogany with the lineup. I've certainly been to my share of bogan Red Hot Summers, but the lineup for the one that I went to was absolutely outrageous. So Jess Hitchcock's to start, been a member of Paul Kelly's band for a long time, but she's one of the great vocalists, one of the great Australian vocalists.
Up there.
Right up there, mate.
Yeah.
Right up there.
Yeah.
Her set was phenomenal. Second on the bill, Casey Chambers. And the thing I love about Casey Chambers is she's at that stage of her career now where I can stand up off my chair and I can get to within 2 meters of her at the stage and just be right there. And it's not a shit show trying to get, because she's been around for a good long while now. And we had, who else did we have on that
Oh, there's
bill?
the Pinnacle.
Well, there's the Pinnacle. We're not quite there yet, though. Who was after that? Oh, we had Cat Empire as well. One of the best sets. I've been to see them before. Such a high energy, incredible band. Then we had Cruel Sea, which was the low point, I would say, of the lineup. They were great, but the absolute low point of the whole set. Then we had Queen Missy, of course. And again, I was just like from me to you, from Missy Higgins. Was just able to stand there, look up, see her do her thing, stunning set, and then Paul Kelly to finish. So just icons, just icon of the Australian music scene.
Banger. And in the pocket, like you sent me a photo and I could see you typing. I was like, I already know what you're typing.
Yeah. Every time I see Missy Higgins, it's like she couldn't be deeper in the pocket.
Oh,
it's so good. So that was just thrilling from start to finish. Absolutely thrilling the whole day. It was 7,000 degrees, so you can only imagine. Like I was a menopausal nightmare. It was just sweat galore.
Whose t-shirt did you buy as a sweat rag this time?
I didn't buy any merch, but I burnt my entire wardrobe after the event. So that was Red Hot Summer.
Okay.
So I'm a 45-year-old woman, and I could not have asked for a better day. And then I backed it up this weekend with Laneway, which I am not the target demographic for Laneway. The tickets were 3 times more expensive than Red Hot Summer, so the tickets were not cheap for a one-day event. The only reason I booked tickets was to see the Magical Chapel Roan. That was my entire reason for being there. She was the headline, so she didn't come on until 8:30 was her set time. We got there at about 11:30 a.m. Another full day in the sun. You're not allowed to take chairs into Laneway, so they expect you to be able to support your body yourself all day. You're not allowed to take food in. You're not allowed to take anything in. So we went in knowing all of that. We went in And the really interesting thing for me is it's the first musical experience that I've had where I enjoyed nothing about it until Chapel's set.
Really?
So every single band, and a number of the bands that were there featured with one or a couple of songs in the Hottest 100, which we'll talk about. So things that obviously lots of other people are enjoying. But yeah, there was so many bands I listened to one or two songs and just was like, it was okay, but nothing gave me any internal feeling of, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And so it was the first experience I've ever had of that in my life. And I thought, wow, it's that I need to be careful to keep my mind open to what's coming
Fresh.
through behind. Yeah, because it's missing the mark for me completely. That particular festival, there's lots of new artists around that I love at the moment, but this is, there were 35,000 people just at that Gold Coast one alone. It was mammoth. And people were into it, and I just was not one of those people until Chapel came on, and then that's one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. She is magical in every sense of the word.
Okay.
And yeah, it was brilliant. So I'm too old for Laneway in summary, and Red Hot Summer continues just to sit right in my wheelhouse in terms of things that I will throw money at every year.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's that.
No more other
gig
highlight gigs between...
I've seen Katie Noonan a few more times since we last recorded.
Right up there.
I saw actually a great Katie Noonan set. Well, it wasn't her. It was her with a lot of other people. It was Jaguar Jones. It was... who's that guy who's just blowing up on TikTok and is everywhere at the moment? The singer, Australian singer. Oh, he did a duet with Kate Sobrano. It was an event at the Brisbane International Film Festival. They screened... It was the Australian premiere screening of the... new Jeff Buckley documentary. And then after that, they... You know how I went to that Katie Noonan gig where she sung Grace from start to finish? So they did that again after we watched the film, except each of the songs was sung by a different Australian artist. So there was a bunch of people, and Katie Noonan did one, and Kate Sobrano was a special guest and did a duet with Jude York. You'd know Jude York, yeah, with Jude York.
You got a little selfie with Kate.
Yeah, and then as we were leaving that gig, we were at a crossing. Kate Sobrano just walks up, and we were just like, hey, that was amazing. And she just goes, oh, let's get a selfie, shall we, guys? Like, instigated all by her. And so she tucked in under my arm and we did a little selfie.
Good. She's amazing.
As she was waiting for her Uber after the gig. So that was a great gig with lots of Australian, great Australian musos that did a song. Yeah, very cool. But yeah, a ton of other gigs and just so much to come this year. We're going to a great gig this week. I'm going to two actually excellent gigs this week, Thursday and Saturday.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to Thursday.
We'll wrap them next time.
We're not going to give anything away. Just wait. No. Just leave it.
Well, if this is out, if people still want tickets, I don't know. If Valentine's Day, if you're in Brisbane and you want a new artist, Fanny Lumsden. She's been around for ages, but she's just having some breakthrough moments at the moment after touring with Paul Kelly last year, the arena tour that he did. She's got a gig that I'm going to at the Triffid, I'm going to say. I think that's right. But yeah, great gig for Valentine's Day if you're sort of country, rock country, alt country. Very, very cool. She's very funny. And we're going to another great country gig on Thursday night.
I haven't been to a country gig in a long time.
Yeah. And that is Brooke McClymont, who is one of the three sisters from the McClymonts, who Matt and I loved that band 15 years ago.
Yeah, probably.
A long time ago. And Brooke now does stuff with her partner, Adam Eckersley. So they've been married for a long time with kids, and they now tour as a duo. They were on The Amazing Race together as a duo too, and were hilarious. Fantastic TV. So
Didn't she also...
She won I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here too, I think.
Yeah,
Brooke.
she was also the host of like a Farmer Wants a Wife or something at some point, wasn't she as well? Or was that another McClymont? One of the McClymont sisters were definitely on a show like Farmer Wants a Wife.
Okay. I don't remember Brooke doing it, but yeah.
It's definitely one of the McClymonts.
They do live on property, Brooke and Adam.
She wasn't on it, she hosted it.
Okay, interesting. Don't know that for sure.
Okay.
She's brilliant and makes great TV though, so that's why I'm excited about the gig. I already know I love the music, but their stage persona is just top notch.
Mm-hmm.
She's so funny. So a couple of great gigs this week.
Okay.
I guess we've got to move on to the main show, something that's not about us and what we've seen and done, but big music things that have happened. Grammys
Yes.
and Hottest 100. Where do we start?
Well, the Grammys were most recent.
Yeah.
And I think you're probably a little bit on... Because I didn't watch the Grammys. I just watched a lot of the highlights
Yeah.
to see. And all really my thing for the Grammys is around one particular artist who got the new Best Artist or Breakthrough Artist.
Yep. Give me your thoughts.
Well deserved. I will not have a bad word said about Olivia Dean.
Yep.
Ever. I think she is...
Agreed.
She is... amazing. She is. I came to know her probably, I want to say within last year, but it could be over a year ago because of when she did the song Rain Me In with Sam Fender, and part of the live recording that he did. That was the first time when she came up on stage.
Yep.
I was like, who is that voice? Like, that is amazing. That was the first I'd heard of Olivia Dean.
Yep.
And loved her ever since.
You told me to get into her stuff, which
Yep.
I did, so I'll have you to thank for that.
Absolutely, just the fact that she won. I wrote it down.
It was
the
Best New
actual-
Artist.
Best New Artist.
Yeah.
The fact
Yeah.
that she won that, I thought, and just her acceptance speech was just
Was brilliant.
and it was just short, but
Yeah.
it was just to the point. It wasn't over exaggerated. It wasn't look
It
at
was
me.
timely.
It was just perfect, and I'm like, you are just an artist who doesn't love herself.
Yeah.
Like, you are not.
She's all class, isn't she?
She's all class. She's not
Yeah.
like, and again, I'm going to, I don't know if I can say it on the pod, but yeah, just some other artists at the moment where I'm just feel it's the opposite, and they're very much like, look at me and I need to make this statement.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's no need for that.
Yeah.
Like a personal preference, I guess. But yeah, Olivia Dean, I'm just like, she's just so down to earth and lovely. So yeah, that was my takeaway from the Grammys was highlight, seeing her win that. Amazing.
She seems to be as shocked about her success
Yes.
as a human could
Yeah,
possibly
and so
be.
humble.
Which
And I'm
it
just
is.
like, you
It's
are
very,
an amazing artist. Like,
very grounded.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
You've come from nothing, and you're now this amazing world superstar.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you, Olivia. And when you do a headline show and tour in Australia, I will be there.
Yeah. Beautiful. If we can get tickets, which we can't. Kendrick Lamar just continues to dominate. Another 5 Grammys for him, making him the most awarded rapper in history, in Grammys history. He was the winner of the night with 5. Someone had 3. Who was it? Oh, Bad Bunny, of course, had 3.
Yes.
So I mean, obviously Bad Bunny's also been everywhere because of the Super Bowl halftime show on Monday, which was just stunning.
Haven't watched it.
It's great. It's
okay.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I always enjoy the Super Bowl halftime show, like musically. I think they're
I haven't
always
watched
really
it this
clever.
year. For some reason, I just haven't.
Yeah, it was pretty special what he achieved.
Okay.
It was really beautiful. So good to see him getting that moment at the Grammys as well. 3 nods that he got. And I am not a fan, but only because I've never listened to his music. So I
don't know
need
much
to
about that at
probably
all.
jump on the bandwagon, and get a bit more involved in that. There's two strange things that stuck out for the Grammys for me that I thought worth mentioning. One was Billie Eilish winning Song of the Year for Wildflower, which is a song that was released on an album in May of 2024. So nearly 2 years ago, that song was released. And I guess it's because I read somewhere that they released the single to radio in January 25. So I guess that makes it eligible.
So
But
even
I
after
thought,
the album's released, they can release the single
yeah,
months later.
But I thought,
Weird,
how
okay.
can you get Song of the Year for a song that's nearly 2 years old?
Yeah.
It was just because when she won it, I was like, what did Billie Eilish release anytime recently? Because I went to her show and her tour was over a year ago now. So that was one interesting point. And then the other thing that happened, I don't know if you saw this pop up in your reels or on TikTok or anything, but Alex Warren, I think his name, sings that song Ordinary and the Ordinary. That song. I don't know if we're allowed to keep that clip in.
That's fine.
in
You can
our
sing
pod.
it. You can sing 3 notes
I
and
can
a
sing
word.
3 notes. So he had this really interesting moment. That song, I'm pretty sure, was nominated for Song of the Year, which is why he was singing it at the Grammys. So he did, at the start of that song, he walked through the crowd to get up to the stairs, and at some point something happened with his in-ears or something, and he took them out, and he was still singing, and he was actually singing a full beat ahead of the
Oh no.
track for a period of time. until he got up on the stage, and then it resynced. He resynced back in.
No.
I thought every, artist's worst nightmare. And he did put out a funny reel of himself just with his head in his hands, being like one of those point of view things. Point of view, you watch yourself performing at the Grammys and realise this is what it sounded like.
Happens, yeah.
Yeah, and I guess that's just the whole thing of track and in-ears, and
stuff can go wrong.
Things can absolutely go wrong. And you sort of see the little moment when he gets to the stage that he realises what's been happening. He must be able to hear everything again and realises he's not in the same time. But it was...
I need to watch that too.
Yeah, you'll find it
I didn't watch
easily.
much of the Grammys at all.
Yeah, there's plenty of clips. And my top category of the night that nobody else cares about, Best Folk Album. Won by an amazing band called I'm With Her. And they, like, when you look at people's Spotify stats, they've only got 250,000 followers on Spotify, which is really small for these bands at this
course.
level.
Yes.
But they're an amazing folk trio, 3 women and real bluegrassy folk vibes. Very cool band, I'm With Her, if you want to check them out. I've been following them for a little while. So to see them get up in that category was amazing. One of the women in it, I can't remember her name, used to sing with Nickel Creek, which is another great folky bluegrassy band from back in the day, country type. So yeah, that's my pick of the night, that category, and my band of the night, I'm With Her. Yeah.
Well, speaking of Olivia Dean, who got that, she also took out the number 1 spot in the Triple J Hottest 100, which was the week before. It was on the 24th of Jan. It's always the Saturday prior to Australia Day here. And she took out the number 1 spot. I listened. I was at home. That was only a couple of days after the break of my ankle, so I wasn't going anywhere. Asher got right into it. We turned the radio on. It was on from 100 to 1. We listened to everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was. I enjoyed it this year. I enjoyed the Hottest 100. There was a lot of I vote every year. I make an effort to. I don't just vote for the top 10 songs that I personally like. Like I'll. Like my favourites, I'll make sure that they're in my category list. They've all got to be Australian artists.
Beautiful. Love that.
No, so as much as I love Olivia Dean, I love that song, I would never vote for it in a competition like this because I'm like, you deserve to win it, and that's fine. Won't have a bad word said about you, but in terms of where I just think Australian music, I want to support. That. So I'll always vote. All 10 of my artists were Australian, and I also purposely. Vote for people in there that are, sort of down on a similar level to us.
Yeah.
Just that, and manually vote for them as well, just so they can get a little bit of support.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I enjoyed it. The takeaways for me was I thought that would be number 1. I thought it would win. I think it was the favourite for days out. It was either going to be that or the Kelly Holiday Dancing 2.
Yep.
Which is very interesting. For those who don't know who Kelly Holiday is, there was an Australian band, well, there still is an Australian band, been around for a lot longer. He is one half of the band Peking Duck. So yeah, I knew that would be up there. And the thing that surprised, 2 things I want to say that not surprised me, I was really happy about was an Australian band I really like, Spacey Jane. They absolutely
that's on my list.
Dominated.
5 entries in the top 100.
Just crazy.
Out of nowhere.
Just bang, off that album. And amazing. One of my, I voted for How to Kill Houseplants. That was one of my votes.
That. Yeah.
So yeah, that was in there. I can't remember what number it was, but it wasn't their highest song that they got.
They tied with Olivia Dean. They both had 5 songs in the top 100. So amazing result.
They're doing that.
Amazing result.
Another band I really, really love, Ballpark Music. They got number 10. I really wanted to be in the top 20.
Yeah.
And just blown away if they made top 10. They got number 10 for their song Please Don't Move to Melbourne, which is an absolute banger.
Yeah.
Just well done to them. And also the other big thing that I was really surprised at and absolutely stoked that it happened was number 97 was a band that I only saw last year with you when we saw the Preachers, the Tullamarines.
Yeah.
They have come out of nowhere and slotted number 97.
Yeah.
Now, I did some deep...
Which is huge, yeah.
I did some deep research into, how many approximate votes do you need and things like that. And for their size and who they are, them pulling off number 97 is unbelievable. Like that is, I tried to put it in perspective of where would an Elder Falls track need to come, between 1 and 10,000 for me to be with their success. It'd be easily a couple, like if Alder Fall's got like, number 200 or 250, I'm like, that would be like I'd be like, that's insane.
Yeah.
Insane. If that, you kind of see what I'm making.
That would be the
kind of
equivalent
sense.
of you being able to achieve
whether you
that.
can call it that, but something like for that, I was stoked. I would never in a million years thought they would make the top 100.
Did
and
you
they
see
did.
them having a tilt on their socials in the lead up to put themselves in the mix? Did you see any?
I
of
saw
their
a little bit
socials?
because I do follow them, but yeah, it's
I'm
crazy
sure I
how
follow
many
them
how many
too.
votes they would have got, particularly when you look at their following on
Yeah,
socials and
compared
everything.
to their following, yeah.
And I mean, I know that's not doesn't just come down to following. It comes down to who sees them. It comes down to who listens to them on Spotify and the support they get in the industry. But I was so pleased for them. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I loved
well
seeing
done.
that too.
Nine,
Yeah.
Number 97, you deserve it. Like that's huge for a little independent band from Adelaide.
Yeah.
Well done, the Tullies.
And they did an incredible set when we saw them too. It was
Yeah,
wonderful.
lots of energy.
Very good
And-
live. Yeah,
Yeah,
very good
so
live
well done.
energy.
So that was my take from the Hottest 100.
Yeah,
Anything for you to add?
Again, just stoked for Olivia Dean. Didn't really have a thought on Kelly Holiday. Like he's just been hustling hard. Like he works
He
so
does.
bloody hard, and it's well deserved in my mind. But like you said, there is this, and he's generated just a huge platform for himself as someone independent.
Yep.
Yeah, Spacey Jane just blew me away, getting 5 entries. Like that's nuts. And then the only other thing of note for me, I was happy with the number of Australians. So 54 Australian bands in the top 100. Not the highest ever. I went back and did some digging, but it is the second highest ever. So the only year that beat, aside from last year, which was all Australian, so we won't count that. But 2020, there were 66 Australian bands in the top 100, which is astonishing.
It's amazing.
But this is the second highest of that. And 5 of the top 10 were Australian, which I thought was also
that's
awesome.
good.
And then the only other shout out I think worth mentioning is that Hilltop Hoods again get an entry in the Hottest 100, which took them to 27 in the history of the Hottest 100. So clear enough, but they were already the highest, and they've just extended that.
Poor Kelly had an appearance again.
Yeah.
It's just, there he is.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed the countdown this year. Maybe because I guess I'm a bit more involved in listening to a lot of that Triple J demographic bands.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was definitely moments through there I was like, what on earth is this song? I've never heard that.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, maybe I should have. But more often than not, I was like, yep, great, that deserves to be here. Well done. That's a great song. So yeah, it was really, really good.
And the bunch of bands that I saw at Laneway, so Role Model, Wet Leg, Pink Pantheress, all were in the Hot 100, and I hated all of their sets at Laneway. So
Perfect.
clearly not the demographic for either of these things for me. Yeah. Hated is a strong word. It just wasn't for me. Obviously,
that.
they're incredibly talented. But yeah.
Now, another thing which this kind of leads into the next thing I've got there, which I've written as the shittest lyric ever, is good and well my ability to write a lyric.
Yeah, you've come along leaps and bounds, I would
Well,
say.
I wouldn't say leaps and bounds.
Limps and hops, maybe.
But I was listening to a song came on that came out, I think, in the 90s. And it was a massive song, like a massive song. And it reminded me of this lyric that's in the song. And I want to get your opinion on whether it's actually the world's shittest lyric or cheesiest lyric that has ever made it into a song.
Okay. Cheesier than anything you've
Do you want
come
me to
up
tell
with?
you the song first? Oh no, because you'll know it. You'll know as soon as I read anything. So the lyric is this is part of the verse. I don't want to see a ghost. It's a sight that I fear most. I'd rather have a piece of toast and watch the evening news.
I saw a reel on this on Instagram.
Oh, when?
Recently on this being the shittest lyric of all time. Life, oh life.
Yes.
That song, yeah.
I want to say, is it Desiree? Desiree?
Desiree
D-E-S-
is how you pronounce it. Yeah, Desiree.
Just unbelievably
I can't believe you
cheese.
brought that up.
That is hilarious.
I saw a hilarious reel on it, and people were doing like dramatic readings of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a
funny
90s,
timing.
That's a 90s throwback.
But that
old
was such a
Desiree.
banger. Like that
It
would
still is a banger.
Oh, yeah, but just that lyric, I'm like, come on.
And unnecessary because you're rhyming words that there's so many other options that you could have used. You're not trying to rhyme the word orange there. Like, yes, there's plenty of other ways you could have probably phrased that. Yeah, when you choose a shit lyric for the sake of a rhyme, you know you're in trouble.
Yes.
You know, it's not the way to do it. That is very funny.
Speaking of shit things, should we move on to...
The only other thing I was going to say in music chat was that I just quickly checked my notes that we can maybe talk about it next week because we're unprepared, but I'd be interested for you to talk me through your Spotify Wrapped from last year. That's the other thing we've missed since we...
My own Spotify Wrapped?
Yeah.
I don't listen to Spotify.
Oh, so you don't get a Spotify Wrapped?
No.
Did you get an Apple Wrapped?
Yeah, I did, but it's weird because it doesn't... I listen to a lot of radio, like artist radio and things, so it wasn't...
You don't think it was representative of your actual...
No.
Mine was pretty spot on again, as usual. The only reason I wrote it in my notes was I will be getting off Spotify this year, and we don't generally talk about things that are too political on this podcast, but I think Spotify is the worst of the worst of the worst. And
we've spoken about this many times as to how much emphasis and what's the word I'm looking for that the music industry put into looking at all your stats and everything on Spotify, but then they'll turn around and say, Spotify need to pay. I'm like, well... Stop using it as a metric.
Stop using it as a metric, that's right.
Yeah.
And it is just horrific, and I want to get off it. So there's a couple of other really completely different platforms that I'd never heard of that I'll probably jump on. So we might talk about that at some point. Anyway, that was the other thing that's happened since we last recorded was watching everyone's hilarious Spotify
I was blown
Wraps
away
come
by
out.
how many Spotify Wraps we made.
Yeah,
compared to the year before.
Yeah.
Like just all these random people like putting us in their stories saying that Calamity and just... all these,
lovely.
it's just crazy. I'm like, okay, that's when I say significantly more, like in a year, like it just like there was tens and tens and tens of them that came in over that sort of that.
Yeah.
Like it was a really, it blew me away. I was like, thank you, that's amazing.
It is because you weren't in my Wrapped. Maybe you would be if I included all the times I heard things live. Maybe the cumulative hours of Altafalls I listened to live last year.
Or
I might
the
have,
links I send you.
The number of times I've listened to Rough Cuts.
All right. Now I want you to pick up those headphones because I want you to hear. I've got another little treat for you. Yes. Now they'll hear it because we'll edit it in, but I just want you to put them on. It might be loud, so just get it close to your ears. Okay. But I just thought it was time just for just a little something different.
Okay.
Scoot, 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 scoot. It's the shit pun of the week. Scoot.
I love it.
I had 2 rules when I put that together. No second takes. It's like just it had to be done. So there's a note at the very end which is out of tune, like the last scoot. Well, can't do anything.
That's actually how it should be, though, right?
Can't do. It's got to be So
yeah, shit pun of the week deserves the shittest intro music.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I love that.
All right. So that's the other thing for the year. All right. So here we are. I thought this was fitting from what you've been doing over the last couple of months. Mm-hmm. So what's the difference between riding a unicycle wearing a singlet and riding a bicycle wearing a tuxedo?
I don't know.
Attire.
I like that. Yeah. I'm going to pay that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that it was another suggestion sent in by a Skippy, but when I read it, I burst out laughing and went, that is brilliant.
Who can I know what Skippy sent
I reckon
it in?
you could get it in one guess.
Was it Muir?
Yeah.
Oh.
was it Muir?
Loves a shit pun.
Yeah. It's
Well
not
done,
shit, that's
Musie. Well, that
brilliant.
one got me. I don't think I liked her last one, so
Okay.
I'm happy with that one.
Okay.
Yeah. Beautiful.
All right.
Well played.
Scoot, 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 scoot. It's the shit pun of the week. Scoot.
That's great. It's almost too good for shit pun of the week, in my opinion.
No other surprises. If we're moving on from the pouch, you can, I think it's that corner. I promise you.
Top or bottom?
I think it's the top one, isn't it?
From the pouch.
Now, this one is kind of very last minute because when we're doing the planning of this, you said you didn't have one, and I've just had a few that's just in the back.
Yeah, I forgot I was meant to come prepared for the pouch, and I didn't.
And I'm going to need you to help me remember a number of key elements.
Are you trying to do this as though you were me? Because that's normally how I start.
Remember the time Katie gives a from the pouch was what my from the pouch is? No.
Yeah, I'll do my best. That's terrifying.
I've got two, and I just don't know which one I want to do because they're both very funny.
Well,
at your expense.
Oh, beautiful! I love it.
And I'm also not sure if we've done one of them.
You are pretending to be me. What's going on
here?
In
all seriousness,
I feel very attacked. Oh, dear.
Okay, my from the pouch was, remember the first time you yelked?
I don't remember the first time.
That's what I need help with, the exact moment. But there's this...
Give me some details and I might be able to flesh it out.
It was obviously years ago, and in my memory, Toby was there as well.
Yeah,
So it was back with our Remember 7 band days.
Yep.
I don't know the context of the joke or the comedy aspect that was...
Yeah.
All I remember, and I want to say it was maybe at Toby's house at the time.
Okay.
We were down in like the little...
In that downstairs basement-y area.
Where we recorded a lot of the music.
Yeah.
And whatever we were talking about, you just had one of your big outbursts. This
I had a big
and
laugh.
it followed with this yuck. you will deny it.
Yeah,
and
my contribution
ever
is
since.
My contribution is that this never happened.
You went yuck.
I went hillbilly apparently.
It was just that I can't yuck. It was like that, but then you went like yuck.
I don't even know how to make the yuck sound, so I don't know how I did it.
It was a one and done, but it just slipped in, and Toby and I would never ever forget it.
Yes.
And ever since then, from the moment it happened, you're like, no, I didn't. Like trying to gaslight us, like you did done.
Didn't undo it. To this day, I never made that noise. But to this day, every time we're together and something funny happens, one of them goes, yilk.
And it's to the point with Ash now where I'm reading him.
Yes.
There's this book we read of Australian animals. It's amazing. And there's like a lobster. And it was so funny when he was the one that brought it up. Like the face of the lobster, like it's got these little eyes and this little mouth thing. He's like, it looks like the lobster's going to go, yuck. Like Auntie Katie. I'm like, well done, man. Well done.
He's bought into the lie, and I got the cutest little voice note on from Matt of Asher doing the yulk sound.
Yuck. And he's like, I can't do the I can just do the yuck.
Yulk. I'll just do the yulk.
So yes, the time that you
allegedly
yulked.
I made that noise in a fit of laughter.
Oh, it was so funny.
Yeah, and it lives on. And that has to be 15 years ago.
Oh, remember, 15 to
20
20 years ago. Yeah.
Yulk.
Yuck.
Not true.
Yuck.
From the pouch.
And I'm glad I could help with none of the details of your
perfect.
From the Pouch.
It was a good, you weren't that. You were there, and just
I don't think I was.
You just denied it the second it happened. I think deep down inside you know, and it's just like when you come to admit it.
I need some therapy.
Yuck.
I just can't even imagine getting my mouth in that position. Don't say that.
Okay, I think that's it. We're back.
Amazing.
Now, the big question is, when's the next episode going to be? We don't know. It could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 3 weeks.
We're into season 5. Who knows how many episodes season 5 is going to have?
It's New Year. Maybe we're a monthly podcast this year. I don't know.
I
hope we're not. But
yeah, I hope we're more
I just don't want to make
too.
promises being like, see you next week and then...
I've got so many gigs that I'm going to, so we have to be semi-regular so that we can talk about all the wonderful music that is going to be happening in Australia this year.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you wherever you're tuning in from. Really, really do appreciate it. Make sure you, I was going to say follow us on socials, but we very rarely post there. Yuck. So
Oh, no. That door has been opened.
We need to post more. Maybe I will sit down and edit some of these clips together. There's been some good moments in this. But yes, thank you. Take care and bye.
Ciao, ciao.